What is going on, guys? JJ Richards here and welcome back to another YouTube video. So firstly, let me apologise for my lack of activity on the YouTube. Few reasons why is one, I had technical issues with a memory card, so the video that I did upload, I couldn't transfer it from a memory card, so I had to buy a new one because the card was damaged. And secondly, this week has pretty much been a total rest week. I've literally trained once all week, and that was on Monday. Then I decided to take the rest of the week off because my body's feeling a little bit achy, which I'll go through why a little bit later in the video. So I thought that it was a good opportunity to just rest. But today we are going over to GAH Gym in Wales because today I'm going to get my blood work done. Now, blood work is essential when you're using performance enhancing drugs. Do not neglect your health. I see it happen so many times. People are often put off because either one, it's quite expensive, or two, because maybe they just don't want to see the harm that they're causing to their body by the decisions they are making. But it is far better to know than just to kind of bury your head in the sand and not know. So do not neglect your blood work. As you know, if you've seen videos I've done previously, I try and get my blood work done at least anywhere between like 3 to 4 times a year because it is vital. And this time I've done things a little bit differently because I've actually not used any performance enhancing drugs for almost 8 weeks. So since my last show, I decided to totally come off everything. Now, typically what I've normally done, because to be truthful with you, I haven't totally come off anything for about 6 years. I normally will go into a cycle, then I'll go into like a cruise phase, I'll go back onto a cycle, then go back onto a cruise phase. So this is like the first time in a long time that I've totally come off everything. So it's been quite interesting to get my results back to see what my kind of hormone levels are like, and obviously the impacts and benefits that that's had on my overall health from having nearly 2 months totally off anything. So I'm just about to prep my food that I'm going to take with me. I am going to go there fasted, just so I feel like I'll get more accurate results if I go fasted. And also it's kind of helped that I haven't trained for a couple of days as well, to make sure that there's no kind of like anomalies when I get my blood work done. And the main key is to make sure that you are super hydrated, especially for like kidney and liver enzymes. They can sometimes be slightly skewed if you are dehydrated. So the focus today is get hydrated. I'm going to get some food because hopefully we're going to have a little cheeky workout after we get the bloods down. So guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop the video a big fat thumbs up. Sit back, relax and enjoy today's vlog.
Yeah, so sit on the end there. I will just... I've obviously got all your details because you put it all on the... when you booked it online, yeah?
Yep.
Because I can't say shit without them.
I'm expecting my testosterone to be like
No.
low. Yeah.
Well, this will tell us one way or another. Glasses on.
But to be fair, the last ones I got done, like everything was pretty much in range, to be fair.
Good.
Like, and I was on last time as well. So
Yeah.
So I like to try and get them done when I'm at like what you'd expect your blood results to be back as the worst. Like when because a lot of people don't get it done whilst they're actually on gear, do they? They kind of wait until they come off because they want to see the bloods the best. Whereas I kind of wanted to see what they'd be like at the worst.
Yeah, see, and at the best.
And then you can kind of compare the two.
Exactly. Yeah, makes total sense. Right. We should be good actually. Just to make sure. That's not pinching, is it?
No, that's fine.
Just get it as straight as we can, because see, That one's right in the crooked L, so if you can get the arm as straight as possible, there you go, perfect.
Do you want to hold my hand?
I think so, yeah.
Do you give out stickers, Mike?
Well, I got a plaster. Does that count?
Yeah.
And a lollipop.
Yeah. One done.
Sweet, you can't even feel it, can you? Like coming out, you'd expect to be able to like feel it coming out.
I mean, the reality is it's not a massive amount we're taking.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty painless, yeah. Just take this off. So, if you can just pop your finger on there while I just get rid of this, and then I'll put a plaster on there, and we're good to go. So I just put all the details into the eval system now.
Perfect.
Then I just wait for a form for each of you, print that off, and then I can package it all up, and it's good to go. Pop that on there. Excellent. And it was easy as that.
Thank you kindly.
That's okay.
Right then, so we're now back home, and I'm not gonna lie, that leg session was juicy. We didn't quite record all of it, but I just tried to get some clips, put it together in a bit of a montage, just so you guys could see that. So, let's talk about anabolic steroids. And I've never really actually like properly gone into detail about like how long I've been using them for, what I use and things like that, just because I'm not ashamed of the fact that I use performance enhancing drugs, and if anybody asks me if I do, I've always been open and honest with it. But at the same time, I'm not the type of guy to, you know, encourage it and try and get people on steroids if they're a little bit unsure. So I also don't go out there and massively promote it as well. But for me, when I started taking them, it was always for the goal to compete. I never started taking them because I just wanted to look good in a t-shirt. I wanted to try and look better to try and pull women when I was younger, because I actually started taking performance enhancing drugs when I was 19 years old. And I was actually in the army when I started taking steroids, which I know you're not allowed to do, but I did it anyway. And the first cycle I actually did was just like a Dianabol only cycle. So I just got hold of some Dianabol tablets that somebody gave me, and I just ran those for a while. And to be honest with you, I didn't really notice any massive gains from doing that. They were probably crap, to be fair. I don't know how legitimate it was back then, but I just took them anyway. And then after that, then my next steroid cycle was testosterone, and it was 250, and I just ran one shot of that a week. And I actually remember the first time I ever actually shot in my quad. And me and my boss were in a Land Rover because we had to set like a cross-country route up, because I worked in the gym when I was in the army. And I remember every time I got in and out of the Land Rover, it felt like Mike Tyson had smashed me in the leg. And I thought, Jesus Christ, is this really what it feels like every single time you inject? But then after a while, I kind of got used to it. And I've kind of been on and off from then. But to be truthful, since like, I'd probably say the last kind of 6 years, I haven't fully come off. And I've always done like the blast and cruise. So I do a big cycle, then what I'll do is I'll just go on like a low dose of testosterone. So for me, it's normally around, 150 milligrams per week is what I run, and that for me is quite a nice dose just to maintain some level of testosterone to then go back on again. When I first started, I did typically do the like the PCT when I used to come off, but for the last kind of 6 years, because I've been regularly competing, I decided for me to stay on and come off. I'm not saying that's the best thing to do, but it's based on what you think is necessary for you, based on the research of looking into either coming off, looking at your health, looking at PCT work, getting your blood work done, or whether you feel it's more beneficial just to stay on and then go back on to a higher dose when you feel necessary. So that's kind of what I've done. And again, this is the first time in around 6 years I've totally come off. And to be fair, like, I feel a little bit more fatigued than what I usually do, but it's nothing dramatic. It's just something that I notice. Strength is still really good. I'm still hitting like close to like my peak lifts, even though I'm not using performance enhancing drugs, because for me, the main reason why I use steroids is because it allows me to recover better, which allows me to train more frequently, and it allows me to train harder. So again, the main thing that I've noticed since coming off is that, especially the past kind of like 2-3 weeks, because, although I've been off for 8 weeks, the reality is some of the esters I was using are still going to be in my system for the next kind of like 6 weeks. So the last couple of weeks, where I've pretty much been totally like, there's probably very minimum anabolics in my body, that I've noticed that there's a massive decrease in recovery, and I've had to tailor my training around that. But once I get my blood work done back, I'm quite excited to see what my blood results are. I'll do another video and again be super transparent and go through that like I have done previously, and then I'll make the decision then what my next cycle is going to be, because I am going to go back on. I am potentially planning on competing this year. If not this year, then I definitely will next year, because I do feel like, my time on stage isn't over yet, and I do definitely want to compete a few more times before I decide to call it a day. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I do need to say that this is not like medical advice. This is just solely based on my experience and what I try with myself. So always do your own research before you decide to go down this route. But drop the video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, peace.